It's Week 7 of the National Football League. And this one features Jamin Davis, who really led his defense last week with a 10-tackle game. It's the Commanders and the Packers coming up next.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Green Bay Packers and the Washington Commanders. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And CD, you look at Washington coming into play here. But with how good they have been, it's not often that we can say they come into a game truly facing a challenge. But Charles, that's the case this week.
Absolutely. What a challenge it is, because they're now coming into this one and they don't exactly have a clear advantage, something that they usually possess in every game they play with the way that they throw the football.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. There he goes, left side. He will score. Touchdown. So how about that? You want to talk about coming into a hostile environment and just silencing the crowd. They just did it.
Couldn't be a better start. There's no way. All week long, they've talked about having this type of a start, but I think they looked at it from the offensive team's perspective. You know, get the opening kickoff. You guys control the ball. A lot of people are now going to say, okay, now your offense, will they be out of whack? No, not at all. They're going to be absolutely happy. They're relaxed. They took care of business for them. They don't have any pressure now. They can just go play.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that makes the score 7-0. So how about that for an intriguing start? The opening kickoff of the ball game, return for a touchdown. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. Commanders trot to the field for their first possession, and it's the 7th-year quarterback out of North Dakota State leading the way. His third inning. Carson Wentz. Go. Now a 1,000-yard rusher a season ago, Antonio Gibson with it. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Play action. Now Wentz. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack goes to Chris Barnes. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Nice job there, forcing that incompletion. This is going to be a fun battle throughout this game. Watching them try to take away that area of the field.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Returnable for Watson. And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Time to meet the Green Bay offense, and the player in charge of it, first rounder from the 2020 draft out of Utah State, Jordan Love.
And at the start of Jordan Love's NFL career, he had one of the best seats in the stadium watching Aaron Rodgers work. But now he's looking for more than that. Rocket arm, big play potential. And he wants to show this organization that he's capable of being a dependable starter for the foreseeable future.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. And some room to maneuver. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 31 yards there and a 1st down. And I tell you what, partner, I think this guy's going to like running behind his new offensive line.
I agree with you, and you can never have enough good runners. They usually provide a nice little spark with their new team.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Josh Jacobs, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Crosby with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone.
Mason Crosby to kick off for Green Bay.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10.
Let's do this, man.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. The numbers on the ground for Gibson a week ago. 14 carries, 57 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz, and that's going to be incomplete. Charles, we see some of the injuries that have popped up for this franchise, and obviously hoping to get these guys back on the field in a hurry.
Brandon, I'm going to go ahead and age myself, but I'm going to ask you, when you were in high school and there were injuries, did you hear next man up from your coaches?
Well, you hear it every week now in the NFL, that's for sure.
You know, back when I played with
Packer pressure, and down he goes. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And if you're wondering just how quickly that sack occurred, the next-gen stats tell us 2.6 seconds is all he had to throw the football. Play action this time with Love. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Jamin Davis there to bring him down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Second down, Jacobs once more. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
He's got the hook up with Dobbs. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense will probably need to get off the field in those situations on third down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last third down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another first down, almost back to the drawing board.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Going back to Love. Open man left side. It's the tight end DeGuara. And it's a Packers touchdown. Josiah DeGuara, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
On that third down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a first down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the first down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Now Crosby for the point after. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here...
Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Xavier McKinney. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Wentz and the Commanders staring down a 3rd and long now after that sack. They're going to look to throw. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just throw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're... now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone.
The 17-yard line.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
And this is why more and more teams are getting their wide receivers involved in the running game. When you've got playmakers on the perimeter, you've got to get creative and find ways to get the ball in their hands. And here, this is a great job to get out of that initial contact and turn it into a big play.
And the next-gen stat shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. On first and goal, they'll try the option left. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. Off the play fake, Love. Out to his left. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a fourth down.
Well, I can spin this negatively as he just got back to the line of scrimmage, but when you really analyze it, he took away a big play for the defense, made it an uneventful run because he avoided a sack and didn't lose yardage.
On fourth down, Love. That's to his running back, complete. Touchdown! Josh Jacobs. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Packers are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Well, he is putting in a great all-around game, Charles. He already ran one in for a score, and now they utilize him in the passing game.
And they put a lot of pressure on a defensive coordinator and a defense, don't they? Because they're used to him as a runner. But it turns out he's just as dangerous as some of those receivers, and he showed it right there. You don't pay enough attention to him defensively, he makes you pay.
And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the two-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on two-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a two-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Well, kind of a throwback weekend for our primetime games here in Week 7. Later tonight, a couple of the great AFC teams of the 70s do battle. The Steelers and Dolphins from Miami on Sunday night. And then tomorrow, Monday Night Football. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. Well, no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick six.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
Extra point try now for Crosby. And the route is on here in this first half. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception. navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes Danny Johnson now from his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. That pick six just a moment ago. Things went from bad to worse. Look up at the scoreboard now. Not looking good here. We'll see if they can put something together on this drive. 1st and 10. Now Wentz to try again after the pick six. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wentz. He'll dump that off to Gibson, complete. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now Wentz on 3rd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. Well, Charles, I mean, things just seem to be getting worse and worse for one sideline. Or flip it over after that fumble return for a touchdown. Better and better on the opposite end. What an impressive first half performance.
And, partner, I know the saying in the NFL goes that no lead is safe. But I will say that this one seems pretty secure. And if we continue to see plays like that, I'm going to switch back and say this lead is safe.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Commanders' offense set to take over. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. To throw, it's Wentz. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wentz to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Wentz going to try and throw on 3rd. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he's going to have a Commander's first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. On Wentz is intercepted yet again. Loose inside the 30. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. What a play. The big man comes up with the interception. Puts together, Charles, a nice little return, too.
Yeah, he's not going to make anybody forget Darrell Green or Rod Woodson, but look at him lug that thing. He decided it was his. A lot of people might have thought about lateraling it there. No shot. Trying to take it the distance.
Counter play with Jacobs. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Josh Jacobs on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Packers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half.
Mason Crosby to kick off for Green Bay.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. A short kick taken at the 18. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Commanders back out late in this first half. Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. Now the Commanders going to burn the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Another try after the first down sack. Wentz flushed out right. On Wentz is intercepted yet again. Picked off by Kingsley Enagbare. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Here comes the offense again, and let's focus on Josh Jacobs for a moment. He's in his zone, second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number one. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. Now from the 7, here's second and goal. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And in the late stages of the first half, it's the Lions who are out in front. Jared Goff has thrown a touchdown pass. Next, we're off to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they lead the visiting Browns in that one at halftime. 2 touchdown passes there for Lamar Jackson. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And you can see